High above the craggy peaks of the Whispering Mountains, where the very air sang with ancient secrets, lived a magnificent bald eagle named Arion. His body was the color of rich earth, but his head and tail were a stark, brilliant white like the snow on the highest peaks. His beak and his piercing eyes were the color of the morning sun, holding the wisdom of 100 seasons. He was known throughout the valleys as the Eagle of the Wind. Arion's days were a symphony of flight. He danced with the updrafts, challenged the fiercest gales, and glided on currents invisible to other creatures. He saw the world from a perspective few could imagine. The meandering rivers like silver ribbons, the forests a plush green carpet, and the bustling lives of the valley creatures, tiny specks of vibrant activity. He found profound meaning in this solitary communion with the sky, feeling the pulse of the earth below. One harsh winter, a sudden, brutal blizzard descended upon the mountains, trapping many creatures in its icy grip. Arion, usually unconcerned with the lower world struggles, felt a pang of unease. From his lofty perch, he saw a small, struggling fox, its fur matted with snow, desperately trying to find shelter. The wind howled a mournful tune, and Arion knew the fox wouldn't last the night. Something stirred within him, a feeling stronger than the instinct to simply survive. He descended, battling the furious winds, a feat that tested even his mighty strength. He landed near the shivering fox, its eyes wide with fear and exhaustion. Arion, with a gentleness surprising for a predator, nudged the fox towards a small snow-covered alcove he knew. He then spread his vast wings, not to hunt, but to shelter the trembling creature from the biting wind, his warm body offering a small sanctuary against the encroaching cold. He stayed through the long, brutal night, his golden eyes watchful. By dawn, when the blizzard finally relented and the sun cast a weak, hopeful light, the fox, though weak, was alive. It looked up at Arion with an understanding that transcended species. A silent gratitude. Arion, with a silent nod, launched himself back into the sky, feeling a different kind of fulfillment than he had ever known. This act was just the beginning. As the seasons turned, Arion became a silent guardian. He guided lost mountain goats back to their herds, warned deer of approaching wolves with his cries, and even, on one memorable occasion, carried a fledgling raven that had fallen from its nest back to its frantic parents. He didn't seek praise or recognition. His reward was the quiet understanding he saw in the eyes of the creatures he helped, and the profound connection he felt to the intricate web of life. Word of the Eagle of the Wind spread. The valley dwellers, initially fearing the powerful raptor, began to speak of him with reverence. They saw his majestic silhouette against the setting sun, that unmistakable white head a beacon of hope, and felt a sense of peace, knowing their mountain had a protector. One day, as Arion soared, he felt an unusual pull, a yearning for something more. He had helped so many. But what about the unspoken sorrow he sometimes glimpsed in the human villages below? He saw hardship, misunderstanding, and loneliness. He couldn't physically intervene, but he could offer something else. He began to choose a high, visible peak each evening and simply sit, silhouetted against the vibrant canvas of the sunset. People from the villages, after a long day of toil or sorrow, would look up and see him. His stillness, his silent vigil became a symbol. It reminded them of resilience, of the enduring beauty of the world, and of the interconnectedness of all living things. They found solace in his presence, a silent strength that transcended words. Years passed and Arion grew old. His flights became less frequent, his climbs to the highest peaks more strenuous. One crisp autumn evening, as the sky bled hues of orange and purple, Arion took to the air for what he knew would be his final flight. He circled above the valleys he had watched over, above the villages he had silently inspired, above the peaks that had been his home. He soared higher and higher, until he was just a distant speck against the fading light, becoming one with the wind he had always loved. The people in the valley looked up, their hearts heavy but also filled with a deep sense of gratitude. They knew the Eagle of the Wind was gone, but his spirit, his selfless heart, would forever echo through the mountains. And even today, when a particularly strong, benevolent gust sweeps through the Whispering Mountains, carrying with it a sense of peace and hope, the old storytellers will smile and say, "That's Arion, the Eagle of the Wind, still watching over us, still reminding us that true strength lies not just in power, but in a heartfelt connection to all life." Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.